Welcome back to the Intern Hustles channel. This video that I did on how to write a cover letter for an internship has been pretty popular lately. In it, I teach you how to structure your cover letter for success. But I also think it's important to point out common mistakes that I see people making when they write their cover letters, because I don't want you to be making these same mistakes. They are so easy to avoid if you know what to look out for. So I'm creating this video as a follow-up to my last video on cover letters. Give it a like if you're ready to learn about 5 things to avoid when writing a cover letter for an internship. And be sure to subscribe for new videos every single week on this channel. Hey there, I'm Jenna Ryan from the internhustle.com, and this is Initiative Muscle Monday, helping you to start each week with an intentional step toward a successful future. Let's do this. Think of today's video as a lesson in reverse. What not to do when writing a cover letter for an internship. Sometimes our best learning comes from our mistakes and failures. So why not learn from other people's mistakes and failures and save yourself some time? Cover letter fail number 1, copying an online template. ATS, or applicant tracking systems. The systems that a lot of companies use to collect applications from candidates who are applying for internships or jobs. These applicant tracking systems can actually be programmed to detect boilerplate templates, and subsequently they then eliminate people who upload these templates from the pool of qualified applicants. This means that a bot is the gatekeeper when you submit your internship application, including your cover letter and your resume. And a real human may never even get a chance to review your application if you are eliminated right away for using one of these templates. So make sure that you are creating original content. A cover letter serves as a writing sample, and strong written communication is often a desired skill that employers list on their internship and job descriptions. This is your opportunity to showcase the unique value that you can add to an organization. It's hard to do that through someone else's words. And you may also miss some important instructions if you copy a generic cover letter template. For example, maybe the company has a set word limit for their cover letters. Don't overlook the tips that are there from the company to help you succeed in the application process, all because you're just too busy writing the internet's version of the perfect cover letter and copying someone else's template. Cover letter fail number 2, getting sloppy. This cover letter fail can occur as a direct result of fail number 1, when you copy someone else's template. Because when you're copying someone else's words, you may also forget to swap out some critical information, like the company name that you're applying to. But addressing the wrong company, person, or even referring to a position that doesn't exist can also come as a result of copying your own work too. It's okay to use one of your past cover letters as a starting point when you sit down to write a new cover letter, but always proofread to make sure that you've actually tailored it to the current opportunity that you're applying for. Proofread everything with your own eyes. Then get a friend to look it over for you as well, because spell check doesn't know context. It doesn't always catch everything that a human can. No matter what type of position you are applying for, everyone appreciates attention to detail. So if your cover letter is riddled with typos and inconsistencies and glaring errors, you can kiss the opportunity goodbye. Make sure that you're proofreading and addressing the correct company and the correct position. Don't get sloppy. Cover letter fail number 3, regurgitating your resume like a robot. I talked about this a bit at the beginning of my other cover letter video. Both a cover letter and a resume are important documents in the application process. However, a resume is the factual and typically boring document, while your cover letter gets to be the star of the show, if you do it right. The cover letter is your chance to showcase your authentic self. Don't just repeat the boring facts that are already stated on your resume. Keywords are important, and tailoring your resume and your cover letter to the job description is essential. However, listing your skills out and just repeating what's on your resume isn't going to get you anywhere. What I'm trying to say is don't just take a bullet point off of your resume and turn it into a sentence on your cover letter. Anyone can write a sentence on their cover letter stating that they have strong time management skills. Your job is to tell a handful of stories through your cover letter. What examples from your past can you pull from in order to tell a story that highlights your time management skills? You should be able to tell a story for a few skills, both hard and soft skills, and give the hiring manager more than what they could just get from looking over your resume. Make it personal and demonstrate your value to the employer in an engaging way. Cover letter fail number 4 is completing little to no research on the company. Yes, you should be using a cover letter to highlight your strengths and your skill set, but you're missing a big opportunity if you fail to tie this all back to the company and how you can add value to them. If you don't do your proper research on the company and the specific position that you're applying for, how can you make an insightful connection between the company, your experience, and the specific value that you can add to their organization? I also suggest taking this a level further and doing industry research. Your ability to speak to industry knowledge and demonstrating that level of awareness in a cover letter shows that you care about the bigger picture. It tells an employer that your commitment to the opportunity goes beyond just adding a new line of experience to your resume. A final key to doing your research is to understand the tone of the company. While it is important to show some personality, remember, fail number 3, don't be a robot, it is important to keep things professional. Humor in written form is commonly misunderstood, especially if the person doesn't know you very well. So unless you're applying for a position with Barstool Sports, please refrain from getting super witty with your cover letter. Cover letter fail number 5, apologizing for what you lack. Do you ever meet someone who just focuses on the negative? The glass is always half empty with them. This person's typically not the one that you would want to work with or recommend for a position or even hire yourself. Yet as humans, we find it super easy to go negative on ourselves. We can be our own toughest critics. Your job is to keep that negativity out of your cover letter. So what I mean by this is don't apologize for lack of skill or defend your weaknesses in a cover letter. You may not even realize you're doing this, but even leading a sentence with, "I know I don't meet all the requirements listed on your job description, but," that can kill your chances. And guess what? Most people don't meet all the requirements on a job description. Your work should be a little outside of your comfort zone. That's how you grow and develop. To be clear though, I'm not telling you to lie about your weaknesses. If you should make it through to the interview and you're asked about areas that you lack experience in, be honest. I talk about this in more detail in this video, where I address the "what is a weakness of yours?" question. So if asked, speak to your weaknesses as areas of learning and improvement, and do so with the confidence that they already value your strength and accomplishments enough to have brought you this far into the interview process. But for the purpose of this video and cover letters, I want you to remember that in a cover letter, you get ahead by highlighting your strengths, not drawing attention to your weaknesses. I just shared 5 cover letter fails with you. 5 things to avoid when writing a cover letter for an internship. Double check your cover letter to make sure that you aren't making these common mistakes. And remember to take the time to be thoughtful with each and every cover letter that you write. Add color. And add color by the way that you're telling your story, not by actually adding a bunch of colorful fonts to your cover letter. Keep it black and white when it comes to your formatting. But add color and fill in the blanks from your resume. Share your intangibles and show that you've done your research. And finally, connect the dots with any mutual connections and shared experiences so that you really communicate with this company on a personal level. Thanks for watching. If this video gave you some new insights today, please give it a like and share it with a friend or 2. Hit that red subscribe button below so that you don't miss out on future videos. In support of your hustle, I'm Jenna from theinternhustle.com, and I'll see you next Monday.